2, education about homework and studying and reading at home. We know that as children get older, homework can be a source of contention between parents and their children. There are a couple of things that schools can do to support parents in positive communication with their children about their learning. The school provides parents with practical guidance to establish a quiet place for children studying at home and consistent discipline for studying at home. The school provides parents with practical guidance to encourage their children's regular reading habits at home. As we discussed earlier, training and guidance on these indicators is often a topic of parent education programs. It's also an ideal topic for home visits, particularly in the middle upper grades, and it's perfectly relevant to discuss at parent-teacher conferences as well. In other words, the home-school relationship isn't isolated to just one aspect of school. It should permeate throughout the entire school experience. Here, a principal shares her school's success in supporting these parent-school connection indicators.
Within our building, we have a pre-K through 1 team and a 2-3 team and a 4-5 team. And based on the needs of the kids in that age group, teams are dealing with that in different ways. But all the teams have been requested to host parent nights in the fall and in the spring. And primarily they're focusing on literacy, although math and science are also of importance. So in the pre-K level, what we see is classroom teacher creating an incentive to read, and they started the year with a goal of 1,000 books. And then they've been recording the books as they come in, and last week they just had a parent celebration for the kids to celebrate reaching their goal. So at that level, that's what's going on. The K1 team is really looking to build relationship and talk about literacy. We'll talk a lot about reading aloud and kids reading on their own and different resources they can use to get books into their worlds at home. But it's not, a homework policy isn't stressed quite as much at that level, so it's really about building that relationship and that conversation. And then the 2-3 team had a great parent night this fall, and they talked a lot about homework. And what they've done, which I think is really exciting, is really focused on reading. So reading is a primary homework assignment that's in place every evening. And then they have a monthly calendar called The Bridge. And on the monthly calendar, there's different activities that they can engage in with their kids. So when they're studying rocks, an activity might be to go outside and find a cool rock and write about that rock, or explore what makes that rock special to you. So they're doing a lot of different things that engage parents with their children at home on a different level. And then the 4-5 team is really looking about readiness for middle school. And so they're a little bit more formal with homework requirements and assignment, but they too have literacy that needs to be happening every evening. And they did host a parent night, and it was exciting for them because the 4-5 students led the parent night. So you saw those kiddos teaching their parents what they were learning and reading and really taking ownership of their learning. And for us, I think when parents can see what their kids are doing and hear from their own kids, and they can really see that excitement in their children, that they get excited on another level. And I think that's another great way to kind of boost parent involvement, is by bringing in and highlighting that connection between home and school with the child as the center. So it kind of looks different in all our ages, but parents do have regular communication with teachers, and teachers are sending bi-weekly folders home with work and conversations about learning that's going on, and that's something that happens school-wide. So just kind of fostering those conversations is an emphasis that we all have for all our kids. So,
wow, they have a lot going on, don't they? I'd just like to highlight a few points she made. What do you think about involving parents in celebrating student achievement? Hosting events to encourage reading by building parent-child-school relationships, giving parents suggestions for at-home activities, and letting students teach parents about their learning, which highlights the homeschool connection with the child as the center. Great stuff. Now let's take a look at some more ways that schools provide opportunities for parents to connect with the school community in meaningful and learning-focused ways. I hope that your list of ideas is getting longer and longer. We've shared so many with you in this brief part. We'll see you in part 3.